Captain Ta stood at attention before the medical board, his cybernetic left arm hanging stiffly at his side. The three Nejin officers sat behind a long metal table, their blue skin looking pale under the harsh lights of the examination room. "Captain Tai, you have served the Najin Empire for 15 years, said the center officer. Your record shows 26 successful combat missions against the Voxel Confederation. Ta said nothing. He knew what was coming. His arm twitched, sending a spark of pain through his shoulder where metal met flesh. However, the officer continued, the damage you sustained in the Battle of Helios cannot be fully repaired. Your cybernetic systems are rejecting the new neural pathways, and your psychological evaluation shows. The officer paused, looking down at his screen with distaste. Significant trauma response. The officer to the right spoke up. You wake screaming 4 nights out of 7. You cannot maintain focus during battle simulations. Your reaction time has decreased by 43%. Todd felt sweat form on his forehead. I can still fight, he said. Give me another chance. The third officer, a female with medals covering her chest, shook her head. The Empire cannot afford to repair what is broken beyond use, Captain, not when the war demands new warriors. So I am to be discharged? Tai asked. Even saying the words hurt. Not exactly, said the center officer. He pressed a button, and a hologram appeared above the table. It showed a blue and green planet. This is Sol 3, called Earth by its natives, a primitive world, far from the front lines. Ta frowned. I don't understand. The Empire has established a small observation post there, for warriors like you. Understanding dawned on Ta. You're sending me away. Dumping me. The female officer's face hardened. You are being reassigned, Captain, along with 5 other veterans. Your mission will be to observe the humans, report on their development, and maintain a minimal Najin presence. Ta knew what that meant. They were being sent away to die slowly, out of sight. The Empire would not waste resources on proper medical care for soldiers who could no longer fight. He had seen it happen to others. Now it was happening to him. When do I leave? He asked, his voice flat. Tomorrow. Report to Docking Bay 12 at sunrise. The transport is called Final Duty. The center officer stood. This meeting is concluded. The officers filed out, leaving Todd alone with the hologram of Earth spinning slowly above the table. He reached out with his good arm, passing his hand through the image. His fingers disrupted the blue oceans and green lands. In his quarters, Todd packed his few belongings. His medals went into a small box. He would not take them. They meant nothing now. He kept only his commander's blade, a curved knife given to him when he first became a captain. A knock came at his door. When it slid open, Ta saw Ji standing there. The tactical specialist's eyes darted around, never focusing on one spot, a side effect of his failing memory implants. You too? Tai asked. Ji nodded. All 6 of us from the Helios campaign. Me, you, Yun, Hyun, Yoon, and Da. Earth, Ta said. Ever heard of it? Some. Primitive. Violent. No space travel yet. They still fight each other instead of looking to the stars. Ji's eyes suddenly focused on Ta. They're throwing us away, Captain. Ta moved to his window and looked out at the stars. I know. What will we do there? Die quietly, I suspect. That's what they want. Jai came to stand beside him. I heard the humans are interesting, at least. They make art. Music. Tay turned to look at his friend. Ji's once sharp mind had been the pride of the tactical division. Now he struggled to remember his own rank. I don't care if they dance on their heads, Ta said. This is the end for us. The Empire has no use for broken things. That night, Ta dreamed of the Battle of Helios again. The explosions, the screams, the feeling of his ship breaking apart around him. He woke up screaming, as he did 4 nights out of 7. Tomorrow, he would leave for Earth, a final mission. a place to be forgotten. The transport ship Final Duty shook as it entered Earth's atmosphere. Inside, the 6 Nejan warriors were strapped into crash seats. Captain Ta looked around at his companions. None of them spoke. They had barely talked during the 3-week journey. Ian sat across from him, the empty space where her legs should be a stark reminder of her sacrifice in the Battle of Helios. She had been a combat engineer, the best in her unit, until a voxel mine took both her legs below the knees. Next to her was Hyun, her blue skin mottled with gray patches from radiation damage. She had been beautiful once, known for her singing voice as much as her skill with communication systems. Beside Ta sat Yoon, the medic whose hands wouldn't stop shaking. She had saved Ta's life on Helios, but now couldn't even hold a medical scanner steady. On his other side was Da, the weapons specialist who stared straight ahead with clouded, blind eyes. Jav was at the far end, his gaze darting around as his memory implants tried and failed to process new information. 2 minutes to landing, announced the ship's eye. Prepare for impact. Ta gripped the sides of his seat. His cybernetic arms sparked painfully. What if the humans find us? Asked Yoon suddenly. Our briefing said they don't know about alien life yet. They won't find us, Ta said. We're landing in a remote forest area. The ship will bury itself after we unload. And if they do, press Da, his blind eyes somehow finding Ta. Ta had no answer. The ship jolted hard as it hit the ground, throwing them all forward against their restraints. The forest was dense with tall trees and thick underbrush. The 6 Nejan warriors stood in a small clearing beside their buried ship, now just a mound of dirt with a hidden hatch. Around them sat crates of supplies, food, medical equipment, and basic tools. The morning sun filtered through the leaves, casting dappled light on their blue skin. It's warm, said Hyun, lifting her face to the sun. And it smells alive. Ta consulted the map on his wrist computer. There's a lake half a mile north. We'll set up camp there. Why bother? Asked Je. This is where we die, isn't it? The end of the line. Eun propelled herself forward on her hovering chair. I didn't survive Helios just to give up on some backwater planet, she said firmly. If this is where they sent us, then this is where we make our stand. Todd looked at her with surprise. It was the most any of them had said in weeks. Stand against what? Asked Da. There's nothing to fight here. Against being forgotten, said Eun. Against disappearing. Ta nodded slowly. Eun's right. We set up camp. We fulfill our mission. We observe the humans. And then? Asked Yoon. And then we stay alive as long as we can, Tae replied. It took them 3 days to build a proper camp by the lake. They worked slowly, hampered by their various disabilities. Tae's arm kept shorting out. Ji would stop in the middle of tasks, forgetting what he was doing. Yoon struggled to set up the medical equipment with her trembling hands. Hun tired quickly due to her damaged lungs. Dae could only help when given very specific instructions. Eun directed much of the work, her engineering mind still sharp even if her body was not. On the 4th day, Ta climbed a nearby hill to survey their surroundings. The forest stretched for miles in every direction, but in the far distance, he could see the glint of what might be buildings. Humans, closer than the reports had indicated. He activated his long-range scanner, an old military model that still mostly worked. The readings confused him. These weren't the primitive dwellings he expected. The energy signatures suggested advanced technology. Impossible, he muttered. Behind him, he heard the whir of Eun's hover chair. What is it? She asked. Ta pointed. The humans. Their settlement. It's not what we were told to expect. Eun squinted into the distance. The Empire lied to us. I'm shocked, she said dryly. No, said Ta. I think they didn't know. We really are on our own here. As the sun set, they made their way back to camp, where the others waited for news. Tai realized that for the first time since Helios, he felt something other than despair. He felt curious. 3 months passed quickly. The 6 Nejin warriors settled into a routine at their camp by the lake. Every morning, Tai would check the perimeter. Ji would try to remember the security codes for their equipment. Yum would inspect everyone's health with her shaking hands. Hyun would maintain their shelter. Hyun would monitor Earth communications, while Da cleaned weapons he could not see. They were surviving, not living. But it was better than they expected. One hot afternoon, Ta noticed smoke rising from the western forest. At first, he thought it might be humans cooking food, but the smoke grew thicker and darker. "Fire," he said, pointing. "The forest is burning." Jai looked up from his work. "How far?" Ta checked his scanner. 3 miles and moving this way. The wind is pushing it toward us. "We should move," said Hyun. "Pack up camp." Hyun coughed, her damaged lungs struggling with the smoky air. "Can we move everything in time? The equipment is heavy." They looked at their pile of supplies and machines. With their injuries, moving quickly was impossible. "We take what we can," Tai decided. "The most important things first." They began packing, but worked slowly. Tai's arm kept failing. Yum dropped things. Dad bumped into crates he couldn't see. The smoke grew thicker. Then they heard a sound. Engines, coming closer. "Hide," Tai ordered. They scrambled behind trees and bushes, leaving their half-packed equipment in the open. 3 vehicles burst into the clearing. They had large wheels and water tanks on their backs. Humans jumped out, wearing yellow suits and masks. One human pointed at the Najin equipment. "What the hell is that?" the human asked. Another human, smaller than the rest, stepped forward and removed her mask. It was a female with short black hair and tan skin. "Doesn't matter right now," she said. "The fire is coming fast. We need to clear this area." Tai watched from behind a tree. The humans were not primitive at all. Their vehicles were well made. Their clothes were protective. They moved with purpose. The female seemed to be the leader. She walked around, giving orders. Then she stopped and looked directly at the bush where Hyun was hiding. "I can see you," she said calmly. "Whoever you are." Hyun froze. The smoke had made her cough, giving away her position. The female human took another step forward. "The fire is coming. If you're hiding because you have illegal equipment here, I don't care. But you need to move or you'll die." Ta made a quick decision. He stepped out from behind his tree, showing himself to the humans. The female's eyes widened. The other humans turned, some reaching for weapons at their sides. "What are you?" one asked. The female held up her hand for quiet. She stared at Ta, taking in his blue skin, his cybernetic arm, his alien features. "My name is Sun," she said slowly, clearly. "I'm a forest ranger. There's a wildfire coming. Do you understand me?" Ta nodded. "I understand. We need help." Sun's face showed surprise when he spoke perfect Korean. Then she nodded. "How many are you?" 6, said Ta. "Some of us cannot move quickly." Sun turned to her team. "Change of plans. We're evacuating these people and their equipment." "But there," one human started. "They're in danger." Sun cut him off. "And we help anyone in danger. That's our job." The other Nejin warriors slowly emerged from hiding. The humans stared at Hyun in her hover chair, at Da's blind eyes, at Hyun's damaged skin. "You're injured," Sun said. "We are broken," Ta corrected her. Sun shook her head. "Not to me. You're not. Now let's move before the fire gets here." As the humans helped load their equipment onto the vehicles, Ta watched Sun directing her team. No one in the Najin Empire would risk themselves for broken warriors. Yet these humans, who had never seen aliens before, were helping without hesitation. For the first time in years, Tai felt something strange in his chest. It took him a moment to recognize it. It was hope. The 6 Nejin warriors sat in a large room with white walls. It had been 1 week since the humans rescued them from the forest fire. Now they were in what Sun called a research facility in the mountains. Tai watched as human doctors examined Yun's missing legs. They spoke in excited voices, pointing at the technology of her hover chair. They act like children with new toys, Daz said. Though blind, his hearing was excellent. They are curious, Tai replied. Not afraid. This surprised him most. The humans had discovered actual aliens, yet after the initial shock, they showed more interest than fear. No one had tried to harm them. No one had locked them up. Instead, they were given comfortable rooms, food, and medical attention. The door opened, and Sun entered. She carried a tablet and wore a simple uniform with a patch that read Carrie, the Korean Aerospace Research Institute. Good morning, she said. How is everyone feeling today? Your doctors keep poking us, complained Jae. I don't like it. Sun smiled. They're excited. You're the first proof that we're not alone in the universe. But I've told them to be more respectful. She turned to Ta. The director would like to speak with you. Are you willing? Ta nodded and followed her down a long hallway. The walls were glass, showing laboratories where humans worked with advanced equipment. Not as advanced as Najin technology, but impressive nonetheless. Your people are more developed than we expected, Ta said. What did you expect? Stone tools? Sun asked with a small smile. Our information was outdated, Tai admitted. They entered a conference room where an older man sat waiting. He stood when they entered. Captain Tai, this is Director Han, Sun introduced. The director bowed slightly. Welcome to Earth, Captain. I have many questions, if you're willing to answer. Ta sat across from him. What do you want to know? Why are you here? Is this an invasion? Tai almost laughed. 6 broken warriors with failing equipment. That would be a poor invasion force. Then why? Ta considered lying. But what was the point? We were sent here to die slowly, where no one would see. Your planet was considered unimportant. A good place to dispose of useless soldiers. Sun's face showed shock. Director Han's expression remained neutral. I see, the director said. And now that you're here. Now we wait to die, Ta said simply. Our medical equipment is limited. Our bodies are failing. Perhaps not, Director Han replied. Our doctors believe they might be able to help some of your people, especially Yun and Da. Ta stared at the director. Why would you help us? Why wouldn't we? Sun asked. Your people in need. Ta had no answer. In the Najin Empire, no one helped the broken. Over the next month, the cultural exchange deepened. The humans provided medical care, while the Najin shared limited knowledge about space and technology. Yun was given new medication that reduced her tremors. The human doctors were working on regenerative treatments for Hyun's radiation damage. Da underwent tests for a potential eye surgery. Most surprising was Yun's treatment. The humans had technology called neural interfaces that might allow her to walk again with artificial legs. Different from Najin cybernetics, but potentially effective. One evening, Ta found Sun sitting outside, looking at the stars. May I join you? He asked. She nodded. I was just thinking about all the places you've been. All the stars you've seen up close. Many, Tay agreed, sitting beside her. But I never truly looked at them. In the Empire, we do not have time for wonder. That sounds sad, Sun said. It is efficient, Tai replied. But even to his own ears, the words sounded hollow. Can I ask you something personal? Sun asked. Ta nodded. What happened to you? To make you? What did you call yourselves? Broken. Ta looked up at the stars. We fought in a great battle. We lost. I was the captain of a warship. When it was destroyed, parts of me were destroyed too. He touched his cybernetic arm. Not just my body. PTSD, Sun said. Post-traumatic stress. We have it here too, among our soldiers. How do you treat it? Tai asked. With time. With talking. With understanding that pain doesn't make you broken. Sun looked at him directly. It just makes you someone who has survived. Tag considered her words. In all his years in the Empire, no one had ever suggested that his nightmares, his fears, could be treated rather than punished. You are strange people, he said finally. Sun smiled. So are you. But I'm glad you're here. For the second time since coming to Earth, Ta felt hope stir in his chest. 2 months passed in the research facility. Each day brought new surprises for the Najin warriors. They had expected to die slowly on Earth. Instead, they were getting better. Tai sat in a small room with Dr. Kim, his therapist. He had just described his nightmare about the Battle of Helios. Again. You're making progress, Dr. Kim said. The nightmares are coming less often now. 3 nights a week instead of 4, Ta said. It's not much. It's a start, Dr. Kim replied. Healing takes time. Ta flexed his cybernetic arm. The human engineers had made adjustments to it. The pain was less now, the movement smoother. In the Empire, no one would waste time fixing broken soldiers, Ta said. They would just make new ones. That seems wasteful, Dr. Kim said. And cruel. Ta nodded. Yes, I see that now. In another part of the facility, Aeon was taking her first steps in 2 years. The human doctors had fitted her with new legs. They weren't cybernetic like Nejin technology. Instead, they connected directly to her nervous system in a different way. How does it feel? Asked the doctor. Aeon took another careful step. Strange, but good. I can feel the floor. Cold. Smooth. She looked up, her eyes wet. I can feel. Across the room, Yoon watched with steady hands. The human medication had stopped her tremors completely. She could perform medical procedures again. She had even started teaching the human doctors about Nejin biology. The neural pathways are similar, she explained to a group of fascinated humans. But our cells regenerate differently. In the communications lab, Hyun worked alongside human technicians. Her radiation scars were fading thanks to a new treatment. Her voice, once damaged, was returning. Sometimes she even sang for the humans, who recorded her alien melodies with wonder. Your music is all about war, she told her human colleague. Ours too. But you also have songs about small things, flowers, rain, love. What would you like to sing about? The human asked. Hyun thought for a moment. Trees, she said finally. The trees that sheltered us when we first arrived. In another room, Dai was having bandages removed from his eyes. The human doctors had performed 3 surgeries, attempting to restore his sight. Be prepared, the doctor warned. The results might not be perfect. The last bandage came off. Dai blinked several times. I see shapes, he said slowly. Light. Dark. He turned toward the window. That's blue? The sky. The doctor smiled. Yes, that's the sky. Day covered his face with his hands, overwhelmed. I never thought I would see again. Jai still struggled the most. His memory implants were too complex for human technology to fully repair, but they had found ways to help him cope. He carried a small device that reminded him of important things, and he spent time with human children who didn't mind when he forgot things and asked the same questions again and again. Why is your skin blue? A little girl asked him. Because my people come from a world with a blue sun, Jai answered. He had explained this 5 times today. But the children never grew impatient. That's cool, the girl said. Want to draw with me? Jai nodded and picked up a crayon. Drawing helped calm his mind when the memories jumbled. That evening, Ta met with Sun on the facility's roof. It had become their regular spot to talk. Your people are healing my people, Ta said. Why? Sun looked surprised. Because we can. Because it's right. The Empire would not understand this thinking. Maybe that's why they're fighting wars while we're making friends, Sun said. Ta looked up at the stars. I should feel like a traitor. I was a loyal soldier. Now I sit here, sharing secrets with aliens. Are we still aliens to you? Sun asked. Tai considered this. No, he said finally. Now you are. Friends. Sun smiled. Good, because tomorrow we're taking the next step. Director Han has approved N's request. She wants to visit a human city. Is that safe? Tai asked. We'll find out, Sun replied. The world knows about you now. People are curious, but most are welcoming. It's time you all saw more of Earth than just this facility. Tai felt nervous, but also excited. Another new experience. Another step away from the soldier he had been. Another step toward healing. The trip to the city had been a success. Humans stared at the blue-skinned visitors, but most were friendly. Children especially were curious, asking countless questions about space and stars. The 6 Nejin warriors had even visited a school, where Yun showed off her new legs and Dai described seeing colors for the first time. 6 months had now passed since their arrival on Earth. The warriors had their own living quarters at the facility. They were no longer patients but guests, even colleagues. Late one night, Hyun was in the communications lab. She couldn't sleep and often worked late, scanning space frequencies. She had helped the humans improve their deep space detection systems. In return, they had given her access to their most powerful equipment. As she adjusted the settings, a faint signal caught her attention. She fine-tuned the receiver. Her eyes widened. No, she whispered. It can't be. She checked again, her fingers moving quickly across the controls. The signal was unmistakable. Nejin military code, coming from far beyond Earth's solar system. Hyun hurried to wake the others. Tai, Ji, Yun, Yoon, and Dae gathered around the communications console. Hyun played the message again. It's from the 8th Fleet. Jae said, his memory briefly clear. I recognize the encryption pattern. Ta nodded. Can you decode it? Jae worked for several minutes, his hands shaking as he typed. Finally, the message appeared on the screen in Nejin script. The war has turned. She translated for the others. The Voxel Confederation has pushed back the Empire at Sector 7. They captured one of our intelligence ships. They found the records about Earth. Todd felt cold fear grip him. Go on. The Voxel forces believe Earth is a secret Nejin outpost. They are sending a scout fleet to investigate. If confirmed, they will destroy the planet as a preemptive measure. Ji looked up from the screen. They'll be here in 23 days. The room fell silent. We should warn the humans, Yun said finally. Should we? Asked Da. The Empire abandoned us here, but we are still Nejin. The Voxel will kill everyone on this planet, Yoon said. Billions of people. People who helped us. Ta paced the room. If we warn the humans, we reveal that we've been monitoring space communications. We will be admitting we lied about our mission. We didn't lie, Hen said softly. We were sent here to observe. That was true. And to die quietly, Yun added. That was also true. Tai stopped pacing. The humans saved us when they could have feared us or killed us. They healed us when our own people threw us away. So we warned them, Ji asked. Ta nodded slowly. We warned them, and we helped them prepare. Director Han and Sun listened without interruption as Tai explained everything. The true nature of their mission. The war between the Nejin Empire and the Voxel Confederation. And now, the threat to Earth. You're sure about this? Director Han asked when Tai finished. Yes, Ta said. The Voxel are efficient and thorough. They will send a small force first to confirm, then a larger one to destroy. How large? Sun asked. Large enough to end all life on your planet, Ta said simply. Director Han stood and walked to the window. We have some defense systems, satellites, missiles, but nothing designed for space combat. We can help, Ta said. We have knowledge of Voxel tactics and technology. Why? Director Han asked. turning to face him. Why would you help us against your own people's enemies? They're not our people anymore, Ta said. He looked at Sun. You are. Director Han nodded, making his decision. I need to contact world leaders immediately. Sun, assemble the research team. As the director left, Sun stayed behind. You could have kept this secret, protected your empire's enemies from discovering you're here. We could have, Tai agreed. 6 months ago, we would have. What changed? Sun asked. Tai thought about his nightmares, now down to 1 night a week. He thought about Yun walking on new legs, Daz seeing colors, Yum's steady hands saving lives, Hyun singing songs about trees, Ji playing with children who didn't mind his forgetfulness. Everything, he said simply. Everything changed. The news spread quickly around the world. Aliens were coming to attack Earth. At first, there was panic, then determination. Humans from different countries began to work together. Inside the main conference room at the research facility, Ta stood before a group of military leaders from various nations. Behind him was a large screen showing diagrams of voxel ships. They will send 5 scout ships first, Tai explained. Small but heavily armed. If they confirm Earth as a target, a larger fleet will follow. How do we fight them? Asked a general. With what you have, and what we know, Tai replied. Each of the 6 Nejin warriors had a role in the preparations. Ji, despite his memory problems, still remembered battle strategies. He worked with military tacticians, drawing diagrams and explaining voxel weak points. They always protect their engine cores, Ji told them. But their communication arrays are vulnerable. Here and here. He pointed to locations on a ship diagram. Hun's work was critical. She helped engineers modify Earth's satellite systems to detect and disrupt voxel communications. If we can block their signals, she explained, they cannot coordinate their attack. Day, with his partial sight restored, worked with weapons specialists. Though he couldn't see fine details, he could still disassemble and explain Najin weapons from memory. Your missiles need better guidance systems, he said. The voxel ships can jam simple targeting. Yoon, her hands now steady, helped medical teams prepare for possible injuries. Voxel weapons cause unusual burns, she warned. You will need special treatments. Eun, standing on her new legs, worked with engineers to improve Earth's defensive shields. The technology is different, she said, but the principles are similar. Ta coordinated it all, moving between groups, answering questions, making decisions. For the first time since Helios, he felt like a captain again. 17 days remained before the voxel arrival. Sun found Ta alone in the lab late one night. You should rest, she said. Ta shook his head. There's too much to do. You've done more than we could have hoped, Sun told him. World leaders are listening. Countries that never cooperated before are working together. It may not be enough, Ta said. Sun sat beside him. Can I ask you something? If we survive this, what will you do? Will you try to return to your empire? Ta looked surprised. Return? Why would we go back to people who threw us away? This isn't your world, Sun said. Your home is out there somewhere. Home is not a place, Tai replied. It's where you belong. He hesitated, then added, I belong here now. Sun smiled. Good, because we need you. All of you. With 10 days remaining, they had their first success. Hyun managed to intercept and decode more voxel communications. They're coming with more ships than we thought, she reported. 7 scouts, not 5. Can we handle that many? Director Han asked. We must, Ta said simply. The work continued day and night. Satellites were modified. Weapons were enhanced. Defense systems were strengthened. Soldiers were trained for space combat using simulators based on Ji's tactical knowledge. Even with their disabilities, the 6 Nejin warriors worked tirelessly. Ta noticed that none of them complained of pain anymore. None of them spoke of being broken. They had purpose now. They had something to protect. On the final day before the expected arrival, Tai addressed a room full of military commanders and political leaders. "Tomorrow, we face an enemy who believes Earth is just a target to destroy," he said. "They do not know what we know." "And what's that?" asked one of the leaders. "That this planet is worth fighting for," Tai replied. "That humans are worth fighting for." From the back of the room, Sun watched Ta with pride. 6 months ago, he had arrived on Earth as a broken warrior with no hope. Now he stood tall, leading humans to defend their world. "The Voxel expect to find a Negan outpost," Ta continued. "Instead, they will find Earth. They will find humanity. And they will find us, standing with you." The room erupted in applause. The final preparations were complete. Tomorrow, they would face the stars and whatever came from them. The day arrived. 7 Voxel scout ships entered Earth's solar system just as Hyun had predicted. They moved past the outer planets quickly, heading straight for Earth. In the command center beneath the research facility, humans and Negan watched the large screens together. Red dots showed the approaching enemy ships. "They're faster than we expected," Director Han said. Ta nodded. "They want to surprise us. They don't know we're ready." Earth's defense plan had 3 parts. First, use the modified satellites to jam Voxel communications. Second, launch the enhanced missiles from orbit. Third, if any ships got through, use ground-based weapons as a last defense. "All stations report ready," Sun announced. She now wore a military uniform with a special patch showing Earth and 6 blue stars, 1 for each Negan warrior. "Then we begin," Ta said. "Hyun, activate the jammers." Hyun's fingers moved across her control panel. Around Earth, hundreds of satellites switched to new frequencies, flooding space with signals designed to block Voxel communications. On the screen, the red dots slowed. "It's working," Hyun said. "They're confused." "Now the missiles," Tai ordered. Earth had positioned 20 space platforms carrying missiles enhanced with Negan technology. At the command, they launched toward the Voxel ships. Everyone watched in tense silence as the missiles approached their targets. 3 found their marks. 3 Voxel ships exploded in bright flashes. The command center erupted in cheers. But Tai remained serious. 4 ships remain, he reminded them. And they're adapting. The remaining Voxel ships changed formation. They moved faster, evading the second wave of missiles. Only 1 more was hit. 3 ships continued toward Earth. "They're coming in too fast," Jay warned. "They'll be in range to attack within minutes." "We need to talk to them," Ta said suddenly. Director Han looked surprised. "Talk? Now?" "Yes," Ta insisted. "Hyun, can you open a channel to the lid ship? Use Negan military frequencies." Hyun worked quickly. "Channel open. But our jamming will make it difficult." Tai took a deep breath. "This is Captain Ta of the Negan fleet. Voxel ships, halt your approach immediately." No response came. The ships kept coming. "They can't hear us through the jamming," Hyun said. "Turn off the jammers," Tai ordered. "But then they'll be able to coordinate their attack," Sun protested. "It's our only chance," Ta said. "Trust me." Director Han nodded. "Do it." Hyun disabled the jamming signals. The command center fell silent as they waited. Ta spoke again. "Voxel Commander, this is Captain Ta. Respond." The largest screen flickered, then showed the face of a Voxel, gray-skinned with 4 eyes. "A Negan officer," the Voxel commander said, clearly surprised. "So this is a Negan outpost?" "No," Tai replied. "This is Earth, home to humans, not Negan. I am a refugee here, along with 5 other Negan warriors." "Lies," the Voxel hissed. "Our intelligence." "Your intelligence is wrong," Tai interrupted. "The Negan Empire abandoned us here because we were damaged in battle. Broken. The humans found us and helped us." The Voxel commander looked confused. Why would they help enemy aliens? Because that's who they are, Ta said simply. They help those in need, even strangers from the stars. The voxel was silent for a moment. Then, it doesn't matter. We have orders to destroy this planet if we find any Negan presence. Look at your sensors, Ta said. This planet has already destroyed 4 of your ships. They have weapons aimed at you right now. If you attack, you will die. And if we retreat, the Confederation will send more ships, the voxel countered. Then I give you my word as a Negan officer. Retreat now, and when they come, we will tell them the same truth. Earth is not your enemy. It is not a Negan outpost. It is simply a world of people who deserve to live in peace. The voxel commander studied Ta's face. You would protect these aliens over your own kind. These people are my kind now, Ta said firmly. They healed us when the Empire threw us away. The screen went dark as the voxel cut the transmission. Everyone in the command center held their breath, watching the red dots on the screen. Slowly, the dots changed direction, moving away from Earth. They're retreating, Sun whispered. The command center erupted in cheers again. This time, Tay allowed himself to smile. The battle for Earth was won. For now, 1 month after the battle, Earth was still celebrating its victory. The 6 Negan warriors had become heroes. Their blue faces appeared on screens around the world. Children drew pictures of them. Songs were written about their bravery. But Ta knew the danger wasn't over. The voxel would report back to their leaders, and the Negan Empire might learn that their discarded warriors had helped Earth. In the communications lab, Hyun called Tai urgently. Captain, we're receiving a transmission from the Empire. Tai hurried to join her. The other warriors gathered too. They watched as Negan's script appeared on the screen. It's from High Command, Jay said, his eyes wide. They'd received our reports about Earth. Ta had sent regular reports as ordered, but after meeting the humans, he had been careful about what information he shared. What do they say? Ian asked. Jai read aloud. Your presence on Earth is now considered strategically valuable. The planet's resources and position make it useful for the Empire's expansion. You are ordered to sabotage Earth's new defenses and prepare the planet for Negan occupation. A fleet will arrive in 6 months. The room fell silent. So, Day said bitterly, now that we've shown Earth has value, they want to take it. They discarded us, Yoon added. Now they want to use us. Ta paced the room. We need to tell Director Han and Sun. The meeting was tense. Director Han, Sun, and other world leaders listened as Tai explained the Empire's message. What will you do? Director Han asked when Tai finished. They are your people. No, Ta said firmly. They stopped being our people when they sent us here to die. We stand with Earth, Un declared. The other warriors nodded in agreement. Then we need to prepare, Sun said. 6 months isn't long. We'll help you build better defenses, Ta promised. The Empire is stronger than the Voxel Confederation, but they have the same weaknesses. And we need to send a message back, Hyun suggested. What kind of message? Director Han asked. Ta smiled. The truth. That evening, the 6 warriors gathered to record their response to the Empire. Sun stood nearby, watching as Tai spoke into the transmitter. To Negan High Command, this is Captain Ta. We receive your orders regarding Earth. We reject them. When you sent us here, you called us broken. You discarded us like unwanted tools. But the humans of Earth saw us differently. They helped us heal. They gave us purpose. They made us whole again. Yun stepped forward. I can walk because of them. Day joined her. I can see because of them. One by one, each warrior spoke of how Earth had changed them. Tai continued. We formally request asylum on this planet. We are no longer soldiers of the Negan Empire. We are defenders of Earth now. And we warn you, this planet is protected by us, and by billions of people who value life more than conquest. Do you think they'll listen? Sun asked after the transmission was sent. I don't know, Tai admitted. But whatever comes, we'll face it together. 2 days later, Tai stood with Sun on a hillside overlooking the city. Below them, children played in a park. Some had blue face paint, pretending to be Nejin. I never thought I'd see this, Ta said. Humans and Nejin. Together. It's just the beginning. Sun replied. Your knowledge will help us reach the stars properly. And if the Empire or the Voxel come back, we'll be ready. Tai watched a small girl with blue face paint run and laugh. You know, the Empire was right about one thing. What's that? Sun asked. Earth is where broken warriors go. Ta smiled. But it's not where we end. It's where we begin again. Sun took his hand. Around them, the spring breeze carried the scent of new flowers. Above them, the sky was clear and blue, a sky now protected by the unlikely alliance of humans and the 6 warriors who came to Earth broken and found hope instead. Welcome home, Captain, Sun said. Tai looked at the city, at the children playing, at the world that had saved him when his own people had thrown him away. Home, he repeated, and for the first time in years, he felt completely whole.